Alright, we'll start the training session for the Tushky seller page. Alright, remember telling the vendor first to go to tushky.com seller page. Once you bring the vendor here, ask the vendor first to register himself. Click on register here. The vendor needs to enter his email ID, his own email ID, and the promo code would be your XPA code. That would be, for example, MUM07 or BAN01, whatever. Once you've done with that, click on go. For example, I'm just entering one here. And enter your promo code there and register. Okay, once the vendor has registered with your promo code, he will be receiving a password in his email. The next time when the vendor tries to log in, he needs to use this password that he has received for login. Okay, so your promo code is basically used only once at the time of register by the vendor, as well as when you want to register, you also need to use your email ID provided to you by us, by Tushky, and you need to use your own promo code. Okay, now also I'm just trying to log in here now. Click on go. Now once logged in, the vendor needs to select add new experience. Now since we are aggregating vendors for activities, we need to click on activity experience add. Now you come to this page, say add basic info. Here the vendor needs to enter the title, which should be catchy enough to attract any person. So, and also the title should reflect the activity he is trying to promote here. Then you need to come to description. The description should be complete information regarding this activity or this experience that the vendor is offering. The complete information should also give us about the USP of that particular the vendor, the highlights of that experience that the vendor is offering. That needs to be entered here. If it's happening for a day, for a few hours, for 2 hours workshop, needs to be mentioned here. Why one should go for this particular experience should also be mentioned here. As you can see to your left hand side, try to address these 4 points have been given as an example, that these questions should be answered in this description here. Once that is done, ask the vendor to select ideal for, which means whether this particular experience is for for a couple, for example, is it for a couple, is it for kids, is it for family, is it for group, for example. I can pick up any number of them from the choices offered here. So you understand by this that this particular experience is for these kind of demographics. Also similarly with the categories, if this particular experience is an adventure one, I select adventure. If this experience also belongs to an outdoor category, for example, this is a pottery experience or this is a photography experience which I am taking you at outdoor conditions, then I can also select as outdoor. Alright, then I need to, as a vendor I need to add tags that is nothing but the keywords that need to be entered here, so that it becomes easy to locate this experience online. Once that is done, you need to put the address at meeting at, that is the location where this experience has been taken. For example, here I need to address I have to put the address where the customer needs to come for the experience. If this experience is carried out at home as a vendor, for example, I am having pottery workshops running from my home itself, then I will tick the bottom here saying this activity is home based. When all these entries are entered, you need to save. Once saved, the vendor needs to then upload pics. Please ask the customer to upload at least 6 pictures of high resolution here. The picture needs to be also captioned here. For example, as you can see here. Once the pictures have been uploaded, they need to be saved. Then the vendor needs to be taken to rates and dates section. Here the dates and the months have to be selected from here, from the left hand side. For example, if this activity or this experience is starting from say 2nd November, I click on 2nd, and if it is ending in the month of Jan, for example it's ending on the 6th of January, I select the end date as 6th. So you can see on your right hand side, enter activity details will give you the start date and the end date. You need to also enter the time, the duration for this experience, the start time and the end time, the minimum number and the maximum number of people required. The price needs to be entered here. Now tell the vendor that the price that he enters here should include the 15% Tushky commission. You have an option to select whether this rate that he is putting in is for couple, for adult, for kid, or for any particular booking. Also, he can select the option of having this experience either it's happening daily or weekly or monthly. He can select the options there, and also he can select whether it's happening once a week or it's happening twice a week. He can select the options here. For example, now if I select here that this experience I'm offering only weekly, I select weekly, and then I also select here whether it's happening twice a week or it's happening thrice a week. For example, if it's happening thrice a week, I select thrice. If it's happening daily, I select daily. If it's happening once a day, I select once. If it's happening twice a day, I select twice, and so on. I do the selection and click on save. Once I save it, it reflects on my activity agenda to my right hand side. Now for example, I have first selected my first package for kids. I can again select the dates here, start date and the end date, make another package, enter all the details, the rates for per adult, whether it's happening daily or weekly, I can select there and save it. Then I will see 2 different packages on activity agenda. So on, I can have n number of packages on my activity agenda. These are the important things that you need to ask the vendor to do so. Make sure the vendor also enters his profile, as you can see here, top right hand side. There's a drop down box which shows you profile. Click on profile, enter the details here and save it. If the vendor wants to see the experience that he has offered here, he can again go to the drop down box to the top right and click on hosting. On this page, whatever experience he has offered will be showing on this page. Now for example, if the vendor is offering a couple of experiences, like one in pottery, one for crafts and one for candle making, all these 3 experiences need to be added separately. So every time I add an experience, for example I've added the first experience as pottery experience, I finish the whole process, start another experience for candle making. I select again add new experience, pick up activity experience again and start the whole process once again for my candle making. So in this way, one particular vendor can add n number of experiences that he is offering. That's all you make sure that the vendor enters. You can also walk the customer through this whole process yourself, so that he makes the entries himself there and there, or you explain the vendor the whole process and he can make the entries later. That's it for this training program. Thank you.